Here's an update on our flow hive. We started this hive last year. It's our first year beekeeping, and between the two seasons we've harvested well over 15 gallons of honey. And we harvest it out of this. It's called a flow super. The whole thing is called a flow hive, and normally the flow hive comes with this super and then one of these boxes that you see here. And the way that you harvest the honey is out of this super. Those little circles down there on the bottom of the super frames, you put a spout in there, and then here in the top you pull off the plug and stick a key in and turn it, and the honey flows out like magic. It's very non-intrusive to the bees. They just think, okay, well, honey's not there anymore, and they uncap it because they can hear kind of the hollow sound. They do a little thump, thump, thump on it and can hear it's hollow, and then they start to uncap the wax and they start to refill it. The inventors of this, over I think 10 years ago, this was one of their profound discoveries when they invented this method of beekeeping, or rather honey harvesting, because it is still traditional beekeeping. You still open the box every week and do an inspection, and you know, you're removing frames and inspecting for disease and all of that. So you're still spending about an hour a week on your hive. But one of the profound discoveries was that the bees actually uncap and start to reuse the frame again. So it's such an efficient thing, because you can literally harvest one of these frames and in a really busy season, a week later, be harvesting the very same one again, given that it's capped again. You don't harvest uncapped honey. It's not a good idea. It's not fully developed honey, and you need to make sure the moisture content is right. The moisture content is right when the bees cap it. They know when to cap the honey. They know what is going to preserve. So they know the moisture content and will cap it when the moisture content is correct. So why is this removed? It's removed because it's being retired for the winter. The honey flow has slowed down. I want them focusing on what's going on inside these two boxes, so that they have a nice healthy entry into the fall and winter months. When it gets colder, they have enough reserves to survive the winter, because the colony numbers start to diminish gradually through the winter time. And my hope is that I don't even have to feed them through the winter, that they survive it. They did the same last winter, and hoping for the same this year. So I removed this. The bees are hard at work cleaning between the frames. If you look, some of the frames are clean and some still have a little bit of wax in between. So the bees are going in and they're removing the wax, and they're removing any bits of honey that they find, and they're going to bring it into the hive here. That is the entrance of the hive down there. So they're hard at work moving this stuff around back into the hive for reuse. They're great recyclers. And once this is all cleaned up in the next day or two, I take this flow super and I stick it in the freezer, which will treat it for any diseases, any insects that might be in there, pests, and prepares it. I actually leave it in my deep chest freezer over the winter. It doesn't really do any harm to it because all the honey is removed. There's no crystallized honey in there. And then in the spring I put it back on and they get back to work on it. So that is an update on our flow hive. That's our current status right now. We'll be doing some videos in the spring. You can see they've been kind of knocking on the cappings and noticing that, hey, there's no honey in there. Let's get in there and let's remove the wax. But because there's no queen in here and it's detached from their hive, they actually just go in and they clean this all up. So that'll get removed. I'll do an update video on it when it's been removed. So if you don't mind, go ahead and smash that like button if you like what you've seen, if you've learned something. Also, if you want to learn something else about our beehives, please comment and subscribe if you haven't already.